obviously with the Sharks of late, a couple of major things. Valentine Holmes heading overseas.
Yep.
Sean Johnson signing. I know how, obviously I'm a pretty big Sharks fan, so I was pretty heartbroken with Val sort of heading overseas, but at the same time I can sort of understand where he's coming from, and good on him. What's your sort of thoughts on that? Obviously, Sean Johnson signing changes a bit for me. It sort of puts the big band-aid over it for me. So what are you thinking?
I think it's awesome both ways, to be honest. Val Holmes chasing the dream, and opportunities like that don't come up very often. But you got to look at it this way too, that everyone thinks it's a bad thing that Val's left, but it's a really good opportunity for him. But it's also a good opportunity for Cronulla that everyone he's going over there. Everyone who's watching him knows that he's come from Cronulla, right. So it's actually sort of really good for our brand in some ways. He's 23 years old. He's achieved everything he can in the game, and
which is awesome. That's just
why hold a young kid back when he's got an opportunity to do something pretty special in his life.
For sure.
And then we've got someone with the talent of Sean Johnson, who's pretty much looking for a new opportunity and how to resurrect himself, and sort of been in his shoes before, coming from a one club and coming over to a new club. You sort of it's new challenges. You need to prove yourself again. He's coming to a team where we don't all rely on one player, whereas you look at New Zealand, they always sort of relied on Johnson to pull him out of a bit of crap.
It was always like the pressure was always on him too.
Yeah, so I think him coming over here relieves a little bit of pressure and gives him a really good opportunity to grow himself, not just on the field but off the field as well.
Well, there's also that it's not in New Zealand too. You're in the Shire.
Yeah, 100%. He doesn't have to travel as much, mate. Everything sort
of
comes into play. But interesting to see where they play him. Obviously, they've probably, I'm assuming, he brought him to play halfback or 5'8", but I think Matty Moreland's really made a really good transition from fullback to 5'8". I think he had an outstanding year last year, and it's going to be interesting to see where they go there. I know they can throw Moreland at fullback, but I know Dukes wants to play fullback as well. So they've got
It's good for a team to have that sort of depth.
Yeah, a little bit of depth there, but they're going to have a little bit of troubles there working it out. But it's a good thing. What else? Back to Sean too. I just think, mate, he can definitely be the X factor that we needed now that Val's gone. So, mate, good opportunity for us, but it just depends on how we put it together and how they sort of build their combination, I suppose, over this pre-season. But I'm a big believer too that it takes a good 12 months to find your feet in a new club and also to get those combinations and that camaraderie with the team as well.
For sure.
So, as long as we don't expect too much of him too early, I think you have a pretty good season, but he'll have a good 3 years here.
Awesome. That's good to hear.
I'm going to watch the NFL with a lot more interest now, because I know that a bloke that I won a grand final with, and had the opportunity of watching his career unfold pretty much right in front of my eyes. To watch him have that opportunity over there is going to be amazing.
It's awesome, mate. It's awesome. I remember him debuting for the Sharks. He's a freakish talent, and it's something that should be celebrated. It'll be good to watch, as you said, and I'm sure a lot of people around the Shire, and also around Australia. He played for Queensland and Australia, and they'll be watching with much interest, mate.